Pro League Vice President. Today we are going to reveal the new men's physique heights and weights. These will come into effect after the Olympia this year. So the first weekend after the Olympia, all men's physique pros will be getting heighted and weighted at every single show going forward.
So Tyler Manning has put out a post. It's finally been announced the men's physique weight caps are in. They're coming in just after the Olympia. Some guys are more concerned than others. I do feel like it does kind of play against the shorter guys. The taller guys are pretty safe, but so far from what I've seen and all the athletes and pro athletes that have been posting about it. But we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We've got a lot of shows to cover, We've got in the pro ranks, we had the Europa Pro in Spain, and that was a big lineup. It was amazing to see two of the UK guys placing in the top 4 there. And Sidi Pouye taking the win, who was already Olympia qualified. It was a big battle between him and Ali Balal. We had the Mexico Grand Battle where Edvan Palmera took another win. Can anyone stop this man? He is looking very good, but he is one of the guys that is actually over his weight cap for men's physique for next year, so he will need to downsize. We've got a couple of really big pro shows coming up this coming weekend, so I did want to talk about my predictions for those, one of which was the muscle contest over in the USA. We have our man Tyler Smith going for that one. I spoke about him a few weeks ago. I'm a big fan of his physique. I think he's going to be doing very well, but he does have some tough competition, one of which is Joshua Guidry, so we're going to make some predictions there. Here in the UK, we had a lot of amateur shows going on. The main two we're going to be looking at is the PCA, just because the coverage is always really good, and the standard was good too, and also the Two Bros Regional. Now, the Two Bros shows, we are only 3.5 weeks out from the Two Bros final, so every single regional now, there are some heavy hitters, and the overall lineup in the show is really good. Gerard taking the win, and he is definitely going to be on for his pro card this year. We also had an old familiar face coming out of retirement almost and showing up out of nowhere doing this Two Bros show and getting into the overall. That is Mr. Zach Ainsley, so we're going to be talking about his physique today. And yeah, a lot to cover, guys. I'm only 4 days out myself. I almost bailed on doing the video today because I am very carb depleted. This is my last day of depletion. I'm feeling it, digging deep, but I thought, no way. There's so much to cover. So, guys, if you like men's physique, make sure you are subscribed. Strap in, this is gonna be a big episode, and let's get into it. So first up, the men's physique weight caps. Like I said, they have come into effect, or they are coming into effect after the Olympia this year. Interesting enough, just into the pro ranks, which I found quite strange because, for example, when they recently changed the classic weight caps, it implemented straight away across the pro and the amateur division. So I'm intrigued to find out why it was just the pros to start with. Maybe it's just to test the waters, but yes, I think some guys are more concerned than others. And I think a really good example would be to talk about Edvan Palmera, because he just competed this past weekend. He dominated yet again, which we will get into, but he put out a post on it. And basically, he is over the weight cap. Now, last year, his feedback was actually size was his probably his weakness. I mean, he came 5th in the Olympia, 5th in the whole world. So he did extremely well, but they wanted him to come back a little bit bigger. He's come back bigger this year, and he is cleaning up, but now he's over this weight cap. And I think it's all to do with your height. So the taller guys really aren't concerned at all. So, for example, Alex Toplin's put out a post. He has a lot of muscle he can gain. And many of the other tall guys as well are well under, including Erin Banks. The shorter guys are the ones that are really going to struggle. For example, Jeremy Bundia, I think he's over his weight cap already, and a lot of the shorter, stockier guys are going to be struggling there. So I think it actually plays into the strengths and favours of the taller athletes, but we will find out next year if that is true or not. But yes, for example, Edvan Palmera put out a post then. So at the moment, he is 2 kilos over this new men's physique weight cap. He's commented saying basically there's 0 stress there. He's only got 2 kilos to lose to make that new weight cap. So he put 0 stress, and he actually put PS, I will just take 1 kilo off each of my arms and it's fixed. Because he does have big ass arms, to be fair. So yeah, like I said, he is sort of like a medium sort of height. He's 180 centimeters, which I believe is around sort of like 5'10". So yeah, his kind of height category is not too bad. It's the shorter guys, like I said before, that I do think will struggle slightly with this one. But whilst we're talking about Edvan, let's go through his win this weekend at the Muscle Grand Battle over in Mexico. He absolutely cleaned up. He's coached by Cuts, and he's just bringing a fantastic, consistent look this year, which I think is going to be very, very competitive at the Olympia. 2 shows, 2 wins, 2 convincing wins as well. The only guy that really pushed him at the show was Joshua Guidry, who came second. Alex Toplin looked good again, but he got third, so he slipped to third place. I'm not sure what his plans are moving forward, if he's stopping the season there or not. But yeah, like I said, Edvan Palmera, a nice, easy, convincing win and securing his second invitation to the Olympia. I would like to see this guy do the Legion in a few weeks' time. I think he would definitely be an interesting battle between him and Aaron Banks, just because they're very different physiques. But this physique is obviously something that the judges are really favouring. He's got nothing to lose going against Aaron Banks. So I would like to see him go for that show. But if we have a little look at his presentation here, this was him just a few hours before going on stage, just looking absolutely hard as nails, full as a house. The lines are there, beautiful posing. The back density is nuts. This guy has it all. He really does have it all. And I don't think it would be hard for him to lose 2 kilos, to be fair, to make the weight cap for next year. He could potentially come in a tiniest little bit sharper, dry out. He could do the water manipulation, things like that to make that weight cap. So I don't think it's an issue. And like I said, fine-tuning the physique a little bit, so he could afford to bring down the arms just a tad, because men's physique, they're not big on massive arms. Chest, yes. Back, yes. Delts, yes. The arms could come down just a tad. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue for this guy at all to make the weight cap. But yeah, well-deserved win. And like I said, quite convincing as well. So I'm extremely excited to see where he's going to place at Olympia this year. I do believe he will be top 5 yet again. Will he make top 3? We'll soon find out. Next up, the Europa Pro. Now, this was a really, really good show. I actually predicted beforehand that it was going to be our man Yemi in 3rd place, Ali Balal in 2nd, and then Sidi Pouye taking the win. And that's exactly what happened. But what I didn't expect, and what I loved seeing, was actually UK's own Isaac Francis taking the 4th place. I saw him end up getting the first call out, so I was like, yes, go on, Isaac. Because basically at his last show, at the True Athlete, just 5 weeks ago, it wasn't a stacked lineup at that show, and he was in last call outs near the outside, you know? So this is a massive improvement, a huge climb, because it was a higher standard show. And obviously he came in the first call outs and got top 4. So that's massive. I absolutely love this because basically he just didn't give up, okay? So for example, 5 weeks ago when he didn't place, he put humble in victory, gracious in defeat. The season opener may not have gone according to plan, but that being said, I had a blast of time. Still really young in the game. I'm still learning, developing and working. My time will come. Until then, I will leave no stone unturned. 5 weeks out, and he got to work. He came in much sharper, much improved, and I love that don't quit mindset. We all know some guys that don't place, they throw their toys out the pram, they get really upset about it, they just eat, binge, and then just stop competing that year. Well, Isaac is not a quitter, and he got to work and he got a fantastic result. Sent him a little message, and he basically said yes, he was really happy with it. Now the climb begins. And I really do think this guy has a lot of potential, and I absolutely love the fact that he got 4th place just because of that no quit mindset. And this is what bodybuilding is all about, you know, being consistent, turning up day in, day out, and improving. And that's exactly what he did. So awesome work, Isaac. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with the rest of your season. Next up, we had Yemi. Now, really happy for this guy. So he just competed recently over in Italy and got 5th place. He's turned up to the Europa Pro and secured himself a 3rd place. So he is climbing the ranks, he's getting better and better. I actually liked his posing a little bit more this week. So basically, instead of being so front on with his front shot, he did have a little bit more of a twist, and I do think it played into his strengths a little bit more. His back shot is just so good, so good. It's definitely getting him some points. He's getting noticed by the judges now, and I do think this guy has a bright future in men's physique. He's so tall, he's like 6'5". So when you have a 6'5" guy that fills out the frame, turns around to the back and has a back like that, it's hard to miss him. It really is hard to miss him. You take notice. So I do think this guy is going to be a big name in the industry in the future. And he's just getting better and better. So yeah, good to see him take 3rd place. But the main battle was between these two at this show, and that was Ali Barlow and also Sidi Pouye. Now, I'm a big fan of Sidi Pouye's look. Just got a really nice V-taper to him. Really, really nice V-taper. And he doesn't have much weaknesses. Nice strong top line, nice and full in the chest, nice midsection. His arms aren't too big. He just fits the men's physique criteria mold very, very well. Ali Barlow, for me, has really nice shape and aesthetics, and he's got a very good midsection. That's why I call him Captain Obliques. But that's his main thing, okay? Sidi Pouye is just a little bit bigger and just has more of a men's physique V-taper overall, and I believe that's what got him the win. It's an unsurprising victory for me. I did think he was going to take the show. And where will he place at the Olympia this year? Like I said, this is his second invite he's got. So going into the Olympia with 2 invites is a confidence booster for sure, and the judges will know that as well. So they will be looking out for him at the Olympia. Next up, we're going to talk about the muscle contest show, which is coming up this weekend over in the USA. The reason why we're talking about this is because we've got our man Tyler Smith going for it from the UK, and this is his first show of the season. He put this post up 1 week ago, and he is looking absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So he's leveled up massively since last year. You can just tell that from this video here. You can just see the shape that this man has, you know, really big density across the top line, full, lean. Like, his conditioning is very, very good. And when he turns around to the back, this used to be a weakness of his. He's been spending all year bringing it up. He's working with Callum from Pro Coach, and they've brought a very much a leveled up look this year. And I'm excited to see how he does. I'm wishing him all the luck in the world. I'm speaking to him back and forth a little bit. He's a really, really nice guy, and I want to see him do well. I want to see him go to the Olympia. His biggest competition, in my opinion, this weekend is going to be Joshua Guidry. Now, Joshua has been doing very well recently, and he's only recently joined Team Zero Gravity for coaching, and his physique seems to be leveling up each and every single show. So this is him in the top 3 from the previous weekend, where he managed to beat Alex Toplin, which is no easy thing. And you can see the size of this guy. Putting him next to Edvan Palmera, he's very similar in size and similar in condition and structure as well. He's got a very, very nice look. He put this post up just after coming second at the Mexico show. He said the judges had 0 critiques, just said to keep showing up. So that's a massive confidence boost in itself. You know, the fact that the judges had 0 critiques, nothing to improve on. He just needs to keep turning up, and eventually they'll think he'll get the Olympia qualification. So far this season, he's got 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and now he's on the hunt for 1st. So, like I said, this guy's going to be Tyler's biggest competition, I think. It'll be a really good battle between them, but obviously I'm going to be backing Tyler Smith, being from the UK. I want him to take the win, so I'm looking forward to watching that show. So here in the UK, I think we had about 4 or 5 different shows this previous weekend, which is it's a lot to cover, and unfortunately, the majority of them really just don't put out great content for me to be able to cover. So I'm going to be covering, PCA and Two Bros. The reason being is because PCA, they put out really good coverage, I can cover it, and both of these shows, federations, we're only 3.5 weeks out from the final, so the standard is getting really, really good. And yeah, I know a lot of the guys that competed at Two Bros this previous weekend as well, so it's really easy for me to go onto their pages and bring up the content. So first up is PCA. So we actually had a PCA Ireland show, and we also had one here in the UK. I'm mainly just going to be covering the one here in the UK. There's some fantastic physiques, some familiar faces, which we have seen before. So for example, in the junior category, we had Conor Flanagan, which I competed against him just a few weeks ago at the NFM Pro Show, where he got 2nd place. He managed to get a 2nd here. Again, bringing a really, really nice look to the stage. I don't know if it's just the lighting or the footage, but he doesn't look quite as crispy as he did a few weeks ago at NFM. Yeah, either way, securing a 2nd place. These were all busy lineups, and the guy that took 1st place in the juniors was extremely good, really good. So let's have a quick look at him now. So Remington Lane, really nice posing routine here. You can tell he's working with a posing coach. He knows what he's doing with all it, working his angles well. And he's got a lot of muscle. I think he just beat Conor just through purely the size perspective. PCA do like a mixture between size and that conditioning. You bring both, they'll really like you. They also like the silhouette, the men's physique silhouette. And this guy just fits that mold a little bit more, you know, nice full top line, filtering down into that tiny narrow waist. and he works the angles well with the posing. So that's probably why he managed to take the win over Connor here. But yeah, very, very nice look. The Masters lineup was absolutely stacked. Some really, really big heavy hitters in there. Now the guy that came second place, I know well. I've competed against him a couple of times, Daniel. He did really well. I don't think he was too happy about the placing. He put a couple of posts out afterwards. Not too pleased about coming second place, but you know, that's the sport sometimes. It does happen. And you just got to take it with a pinch of salt, you know. Sometimes the judges won't go for your look, sometimes they will. As long as you're consistently leveling up, that's all you can do. Be humble in defeat and, you know, be gracious in victory as well, as the old saying goes. So, yeah, I mean, he brings a nice look. I think, personally, he could probably work on his facial expressions a little bit more. Just a nice smile. Men's physique is about, you know, presenting a nice smile, posing without it looking like you're putting loads of effort into your posing. So yeah, I think just the overall presentation needs to be better here, because he's got a very, very nice physique. But yeah, just needs to work on the presentation a little bit to level up for the finals, and potentially a little bit sharper from the back as well, mainly the lower back. But he has got an excellent, excellent look. Very nice V-taper, and he's going to be dangerous in the Masters division in the finals. The chap that took the win is on a roll. So Calvin, so he has won quite a few shows now. PCA really like his look in the Masters category. And yeah, he's secured himself another win. So I was actually with him in the overalls at Manchester. And he has, yeah, a very, very nice look to him. So congratulations, Calvin. On a roll, mate, which is always a nice confidence boost going into the finals. Now, the short class winner. Now, this guy is the one that actually took the sword. Dale Lee, bringing a really, really nice look to the stage. I followed him already before the finals. I've known this guy for a while. For me, excellent physique and well deserving of the overall. If he wants to, I messaged him afterwards. I said, mate, you've got pro card potential here for sure. His back is absolutely insane. Really, really good. One of the best backs I've seen on the PCA stage this year in the amateur division. Just look at that. But he's got one weakness, in my opinion, and that's his front shot. Let's see if he does it again. I don't know if he's going to do it again in this routine, but he hits his front shot just standing there like that, just very square on. He does it actually briefly when he walks forward here. So when he comes forward, he hits it there. That does no favours for him. If he wants to get his pro card this year, he's going to be against guys that also have very good physiques and they can pose to their strengths. So all his other shots look really nice, but that front shot, it needs to change. That's the first shot that the judges see. So yeah, Dale Lee, my only criticism for you, because you bring an excellent package, is just sort out that front shot a little bit and you're going to be very, very competitive for that pro card at the finals this year. So last show we're going to talk about today is the Two Bros Regional. Now, this was a stacked lineup. We're just going to mainly look at the overall. There's a lot of big names going for the show, and most of them got through to the overall lineup, which was really, really cool to see. So again, the pictures, unfortunately, are not the best. Luckily, I know most of these guys on here, which is easy for me to then pull up their images so we can have a closer look at their specific physiques. But yeah, starting from the left, we had my man, Ash Lewis over there. So he brings a size. He's had a very good season so far. He's won every single show. He's won swords at PCA as well. He definitely brought a size into the overall lineup. Just next to him, we have Zach Ainsley, who used to compete back in the day. He used to be a really, really big name in the fitness industry. It's good to see him coming back because I know he had a lot of things going on in his personal life. Now, this guy has a really nice physique. I'm going to quickly talk about Zach Ainsley, actually. He's got a very nice physique. I'm a big fan of it. However, I've competed at the same shows as him back in the day. 2017, I think we were last on stage. We were never against each other because he was in a shorter category. But always going into the show, I don't know if he peaked wrong, but he never looked quite as good as he does on Instagram. So it'd be good for me to see clearer images of him today to see if he did manage to do it. But one thing is for sure, if he wants to get his pro card, which I'm sure is what his aim is, he needs to sort out his posing, because just in these two shots that I've got from the front and the back, both his posing was off. However, it was still good enough to get through to the overall. So awesome, awesome work. That is a great first show to make a comeback on. So Zach Ainsley, great work, mate. So moving to the right of him, I'm not too familiar who this chap is here. So I do apologise. If anyone knows who he is, please feel free to comment down below so I can check him out for future shows. Then we had Gerard, aka Mankind PCA Pro is his Instagram handle. Going into the show, he was the favourite. I kind of predicting this guy is going to get his pro card. He looks really, really good. He's not the biggest guy, but he just has roundness to his muscle bellies. He's just got a very nice structure to him, and the conditioning is next level as well. He's coached by Jace, and he brings an excellent look to the stage. I competed with him last year at the Racetrick Rumble, and everyone backstage was looking at him like he was big competition and knew he was going to do well. And he did do well at that show. I don't think he did the open category, strangely enough. So he didn't take the overall there, but he did on this occasion today. It was well deserved. Moving to the right, we have Richie O'Donnell, who is a fantastic competitor as well. And then we also had Landon Knight. So another big hitter. A very similar physique, in my opinion, to Richie O'Donnell. So that was good to see those two in the lineup together. But yeah, all bringing excellent physiques, all very different physiques, apples and oranges to compare. Like I said, Ash Lewis just bringing overall mass and size to the stage. Richie O'Donnell bringing nice fullness across the top line, across the back, a little bit more stocky. Zach Ainsley, like I said, he does bring aesthetics, but I don't know if he nailed it again for this peak. From the pictures I've seen, he's not quite as tight as I've seen him on Instagram. The posing needs improving. So yeah, either way, congratulations to all of these guys bringing really good looks and physiques to the stage. So to get through to the overall, this busy show, you know you're a heavy hitter within the industry, and the UK scene for men's physique is really tough. So any of these guys do have pro potential, in my opinion, when they're going abroad competing in these international shows. So yeah, it's going to be good to see, because I know all of these guys are going to be going for international pro qualifiers and pro qualifiers in general. So it's going to be really interesting to see who gets the pro card this year. So that just about wraps up this week's video. Again, I do apologise if you did do any of the other UK shows and I haven't covered it. It's just because there were so many, and like I said, they don't put out the best footage, the federations, for me to cover. Plus, I am absolutely battered. Like I said, I'm only a few days out myself. So yeah, this weekend upcoming, like I said, we've got a couple of pro shows to cover. We've got my show to cover, which again is the NFM show. I'm going back in to try and secure that Texas ticket. We'll see if we can get it. Whoever wins the men's physique at this next show is going to be getting that sponsored ticket to Texas. Also, an effective nutrition sponsorship, which is pretty cool. So we'll see what happens there. I know there's some heavy hitters going for it, potentially a couple of PCA pros. So if I can hold my own against those, that'd be a win in itself. So guys, thanks for watching. If you love men's physique, like I said to you before, make sure you are subscribed. I massively appreciate all the support, all the shares on Instagram. Share it, tag me. The pro shows that I covered, do you agree with the decisions that have been happening? Do you agree with Sidi Pouye beating Ali Bilal? There was a little bit of controversy there. Do you think that Joshua Guidry is going to be the winner this upcoming weekend? Do you think Tyler Smith is going to beat him? Let me know your predictions below. We're getting closer and closer to Olympia. I believe we're 5.5 weeks out now. So this season is really hotting up. So make sure you are subscribed, videos weekly, and I will see you in next week's video.